So now we're 24, 48 hours before we leave. It's really coming down to kind of crunch time. You want much more practical information. It's exactly what is closest to where I'm going to be. You want points of interest, you want nightlife, you want shopping, POIs, everything that gives you the real detail on the ground. And now you are very much moving into the smartphone, tablet and web sort of platforms. This is where you're going to be doing most of that work, and you need to know what you're going to find on the ground. You're looking at airport information, you're looking at what seats you're going to have on the airline, that type of practical information. And then this for me is probably the most exciting, so the in destination with a couple of letters missed off. That is this is really where no one's done an extremely good job yet. There's lots of applications out there. They're very much first generation. They're not really doing much in terms more than providing you just a range of points of interest on the ground. They're not providing a kind of a distilled version of why is that the best place to go and where are the best neighbourhoods for me to visit. And this is all going to take place on your tablet and smartphone. This is walking tours, itineraries, all the really fun and exciting stuff you're going to start doing on the ground as you experience. And this is where the richer content, the audio, the video can also come into play. And then lastly, sort of post-trip phase. So this is where, admittedly, this is kind of the phase where you may do most of your sort of sharing of content after you've gone on your trip, although that's changing, and we'll look at that in more detail. And at this phase, you're really reviewing what you've done on your last trip and thinking about what you might do next. So you're moving very quickly back into dreaming about your next holiday. You're just about to go back to work on Monday, and you really want to think about your next holiday. So now we've actually just conducted a survey over the last month, which has just been released this morning. So the results are now out on our digital travel content and user experience survey. We've been running this for the last 3 years, so we've got some great kind of year-on-year data that shows us the trends and what people are looking to do, what they're looking for in terms of destination content. There's about 1,700 respondents, so we've got a good level of detail there as well. This is the first of a series of charts. I'm going to just sort of take outs from that, but you can download the full survey as well from us.biz and go onto the research and presentations tab on there, so please take a look at that. So just drilling into these stats here, I think sort of pulling out some of the key facts. We're looking, when are people actually using that content? This is relating back to the travel cycle we're looking at. We're trying to add a layer of detail to that. So I think we can see some of the big, the main uses before deciding where to go. It's what people have been doing online for the last 10 years, is the research piece. What's changing rapidly, we can see, is when booking accommodation and when booking flights, the need for content is growing. I mean, you're kind of surprising it's not higher than that already in some cases, but it's moving at a real pace. I think the one I'd pull out from there, the strongest view is really the while in destination as well. It's more than doubled. And I guess over the last year, the amount of smartphones and the amount of applications for in destination has grown rapidly. So we're starting to see people really feeling that's something they expect to have from their holiday company, not a kind of nice to have anymore. Just then moving on a phase or two, so now into kind of the plan and book phase, and all the things I talked about before obviously played out in here as well. Destination description, I mean, absolutely key. I think it's something people expect now, although possibly it's a slightly drier format than maybe people have been expecting now from their travel guides. We also added in offers and deals this year. We've seen that is really important to people. They do really need to have that type of information there as well. Other things to pick out, maps of the destination, it's absolutely expected. People want the weather information. I guess what's slightly surprising is video is slightly further down the list. I don't think people are saying they don't want video. I think what they're saying is there just isn't very much high quality video out there. There's hotel video, but there isn't necessarily much destination video that's of the right kind of quality that they're going to review. Some travel sites have it, some don't. So I think the consumer's probably slightly confused confused what to expect from video at the moment, and I think there's going to be a real change in that over the next 12 months. So just sort of a little bit of kind of looking at some of the user stories, I suppose, to a degree, of the traveller who is constantly planning. So it feels like now when you start planning a trip, you're in a continual cycle of kind of, you know, it might take you 3 weeks to book a holiday, but you're then in perpetual phases of planning different elements. And that gets even more you see that trend even more in that 24 to 48 hours before you really start asking questions. You're getting excited about your trip and you're really thinking about what it's going to be like. So is it going to be sunny? I want to know what the weather's going to be like. What neighbourhood was my hotel in again? What shall I do on the first day? Will I get a window seat? All of these questions are coming out there. And I think my favourite one here is, does my hotel have a trouser press, which our editorial manager finds the most frustrating in hotel descriptions, that we actually tell anyone about trouser presses anymore. Obviously I use one myself. So these are the types of things we're looking at, and just to sort of back up some of those sort of user stories, I guess, these are the results from the survey. So weather is absolutely top. It's something everyone looks at. We all know we do it, you know, probably twice a day in the run up to going on holiday. So we can see that coming through there. Ground transportation, so it's more practical. It's the airport guide information. It's providing the real detail of what we're going to be doing on the ground. And then in destination, again, these kind of really granular questions now. So, you know, did I actually book breakfast in the hotel? I remember asking myself that a million times whenever I arrive at a hotel, because no one's quite offering you the service that you can, you have the information either on your mobile or you've printed something out and it's at the bottom of your bag, so you never quite remember until you ask reception. Notoriously, they tell you no. You've then got the real detail of what you want to do in the destination, and you want local offers. So is there a restaurant offer that's near me? I mean, the ideal thing when you're in a destination, if you could, would be to have restaurant offers sort of pushed to you when you're 11:30 in the morning, when you're restaurants that are in a kilometre of where you are. That would be really useful, relevant content that you're going to go and make use of. And I think this is just played out and goes on throughout the holiday. So the detail and the expectation of what we should be able to find when we're in the destination is just growing. And this is this is a takeout from the survey. Again, this is a new part looking purely at what people want in the destination on their mobile device. So we're seeing huge kind of need for the attractions and restaurants, fairly obvious stuff, that's what we'd expect people to want. We're seeing an even stronger trend across all of these in the 18 to 34 age group as well. So it really is I suppose what we're looking at there is what the state of the market's going to be in about 12 months' time. Everyone is going to be at those levels that are shown in red there. So we just have to have the offering for our customers. Important phrase books in local languages, so that's key. People want to feel confident and comfortable in the destination. They know what to expect. They know how to speak. They know the local etiquettes. They know where they can go and have an experience and go and do a one-day tour. So all of those things I think are really important that we start to offer.